If anybody here is starting a business and you want confidence in messing it up along the way divinely, then we're the people to watch.
Yeah. Permission has been granted to fuck it up royally.
Fuck it all up. That's how you see what works. That's something I'm like so teaching my kids right now too. Like, mistakes equal, then you know better. Garrett is a little frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah. And and this is where we're like, there are no mistakes. It's just, it is like, which I think this is a good segue for what we're talking about today, which is intuition. Like, what does it really mean to follow intuition? Sometimes you can take an action where you're like, well, my intuition led me there, and there's this expectation that at the end of this action, there's this specific outcome that you must get. And then when you don't get it, you're like, WTF, like, I was following guidance. Like, that's not how this was supposed to unfold, yet you learn so much along the way.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
But if you have this belief, let me just complete this thought. If you have this belief, so what we're saying is intuition is not linear. It doesn't respond to the plans of your brain. It has its own plan. And if you have been believing or have been taught to believe that intuition will always lead you, quote unquote, to the right thing. I mean, it does, right? But intuition is always connected to the greater and bigger vision, not the little end result you want right now. It's always leading to what is connected to the higher vision, the greater vision, which is where your intention and focus should always be. Because we're always focused on these little goals here. We were talking about this before we went live. Like, the awareness that I had was how much, which is part of the striving consciousness, the survival, that I can only have a little bit of this. So, I want to go on this trip. I want to work with this mentor. Let me manifest the money for that. Well, it's like, what if you can really raise your standards for living and choose and make your choices based on the bigger picture versus these little bite size, and I can't even find the word for it, but like the energy around it is very icky. And your intuition is always pointing to the bigger, the higher, not the little bit that you think you can have right now.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so true. And it's like what you said of, it's always going to take you where you're supposed to be going, but it's not the path that your brain thinks it's supposed to take. Right? Like, you might have this idea of how you create a business or how to, shift your weight or whatever. And that doesn't mean that your intuition is going to lead you down that exact path. And if it doesn't look like that, a lot of people back away and are like, oh, that must not be it. That must not be the right thing. And it's literally trusting. And it's when you let go, like we talked about last week, like, you're not letting go of the desire, you're letting go of the bullshit around it. So it's like, when you're in the knowing that you are the person that has all these things and are having these experiences in your life, you don't worry about the path, the specific path unfolding the way that you think it's supposed to, because it's done. You're living that. And each step you just get to embody and experience along the way. Like, I was telling Garrett yesterday that I got this intuitive hit to completely rearrange my office. And I was like, oh, that's stupid. Like, why do I need to do that? And I was like, no, that's the intuitive hit. So I'm going to do it. Like, and I'm going to enjoy it and it's going to be fun. And because for the sake of doing it, right? This society has conditioned us so much to getting to the end results. Even though you see bumper stickers everywhere that say, it's about the journey, not the destination. Like, who fucking lives like that? Like, this is what we're here for. We're here to fucking live like this. Like, you want to embody the experience of the now. You want to embody each moment of the intuition that you are being guided to, no matter how weird it is. It's like opening yourself up to the sense of adventure and curiosity where play happens. Like, guided over there to this coffee shop. I don't know why it was there. It just was. Or I went to that coffee shop and now that's not working out. It's okay. Like, we put all these judgments on the way things are supposed to pan out because our brain wants to keep us safe and in that safe channel so that things we don't expect, mistakes, don't happen. But we know that that's exactly the shit that points us exactly where we need to be.
Yeah, I feel like this speaks to the illusion of safety, the illusion of not being harmed or hurt. And when you are believing in that, meaning that, oh man, I feel like I'm taking us elsewhere, but again, this is like a lot of it is with just channels for what comes through.
Yeah.
So to talk about the illusion of safety, a lot of people think being safe means I will not be hurt, I will not be harmed, nothing bad will happen to me. Well, you can put that one down because that's just crap. What that really means, this idea of safety, is the knowing no matter what experiences arise, no matter what circumstances you find yourself in, you will always be okay. Because the power is always within you. It's not outside of you. Yes, it's redundant. You've heard it a godzillion times, but we don't believe it for some reason because when fear arises, we forget all of that. When you're in fear, when you're angst and stress, when you're attached, you're like, it must be this way. And we talked about this last week, the only reason you're attached is because you don't believe it will work out for you in the way that you want it to. And your intuition, and so you place conditions, right? You place conditions around what you desire. So that's what we talk about, like letting go is not letting go of the desire itself. No, allow it to be there, live in it, enjoy it, and allow it to expand. What you must let go of are the conditionings that you have placed around it, which is what makes it dense, make it heavy. You can't receive it in your field. And your intuition makes connections that your brain cannot. It's not following the conditioning of your brain. It's making connections that your brain will go, well, what does this have to do with that? Right? Because your brain is only like on repeat. Let me see. Yeah. Is this in the files? Did this happen? Can we plug this here, there? Oh, no, we can't. Dismiss. Not allowed. And your intuition is like, no, we see connections you don't even fucking see right now.
Yeah, and that's that creative genius, right? Like, creative genius only comes through in new connections. Like, you're not going to recognize it. It's not going to make sense. Like, whatever you have categorized in your brain as those things that lead towards your outcome are not going to be the way, right? You might see little pieces of them somewhere, like, start a business. Okay, make a website. Like, that might be in your little box, but like, go get a smoothie over here, or call this person you haven't talked to in literally 20 years and you had some weird connection with. Like, it's just, you don't even know. And like, that's really that self.
Or go take a nap.
Right, or go take a nap. That's a rough one. You want me to do what? You want me to stop? You want me to not be productive? What? The fuck's that? Yeah, it's like letting life guide you, right? And life is like a wonder and a mystery. We were just kind of talking about this, and it's like it's one of those things where like people talk about and say all the time, you know, but we don't actually do it. It's like when you are in presence, when you are allowing intuition to be the thing that guides you versus like brain says XYZ, so go do XYZ. Like you're not, XYZ is not, it's not the fun path either. That's for damn sure. Like the mystery, when you allow it to guide you, and yeah, because you're like pulling that safety from outside of you is not going to give you shit. It's not going to give you your safety. The safety is what you claim within yourself and allow yourself to go play. Like that's really what intuition is calling you to do. Go play. And yeah, it might be uncomfortable.
Go play.
But it's like, I don't remember exactly what you just said, but it's like the fuck. I don't know what I was gonna say. Totally. I love that.
This is what happened when a lot is coming through. Yeah. And it's all right and it's all perfect. And the thing that I want to stress is it's like we're not necessarily saying anything that you haven't really heard before, right? Like you can, people will, because I see this happen all the time. Like there are friends, colleagues, people in my life that have been on, call it this entrepreneurial journey, self expansion journey. And I remember like when I was like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and the people that I met and connected with, and seeing my expansion, seeing my progression, right? How much I have expanded. And not sorry to say, how many people are still in that loop, right? Because the next level of this knowing, oh, I've heard this before. Yes, this makes sense. Oh, you sharing these quotes, you liking these quotes. Oh, this was meant for me today. Oh my God, you're speaking to me today. Well, what are you doing about that? A lot of it is not being embodied. It just sounds good to say it. It makes you feel cool. You're part of the circle of the awakened one, the woke one. But you're really not awake at all. You're still fucking sleeping with your eyes wide open.
Yeah, you're looking at the shit and you're reading the quotes and you're seeing the things and you're like, oh, I know that. But like knowledge and like embodiment and living in that new way, completely different things. Completely different things. Like we are here for you, ready to be ballsy as fuck and walk that knowing. Yeah. Walk that knowing, because you've heard it a million times. You've been speaking it. Maybe you've been sharing that shit for an eternity, right? And it's like, and yet maybe you still sit in a fucking dead end job that you absolutely hate for 8 hours every single fucking day of your life because that's what you know, or you stay with the same partner even though you're miserable, or you live in the same city that you hate but you want to change something. And it's like, live it. Like you only have one fucking life. I'm gonna like mini tangent right now. It's like I get fired up. My brother's birthday is next week, so I like get extra fired around like that kid had 24 years to live and he fucking lived them. Like traveled the world, like did the fucking things he said he was gonna do. And it's like that always sparks that fire within me. Like, okay, where in my life am I not going all in? Where in my life am I not embodying? So it's like take a moment
I'm
and
just
look.
gonna put a pin here. That was a hack for you. If you missed it, if you've been studying and listening to all this stuff and you're looking like nothing has really changed, say that again, Jules. Where in my life am I not going all in?
Yeah. Where in my life am I not going all in? Where in my life am I settling for status quo because I'm scared? Right? Because typically you know what to do, right? It might be quit that job. It might be go all in on that business, right? I'm thinking of like one specific person right now who I have talked about this forever. Go all in, quit the fucking job, see what happens. Yeah, you're gonna fall into fucking magic, like if you let yourself not spin in fear of the doubt, right? And that's a whole nother topic of worshiping doubt versus worshiping your desire. But like that intuitive hit to do that thing, your life will never fucking change unless you follow that hit.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, you are fired up, girl. Coming at you on this Friday morning. Yeah, it's really coming to truth with yourself. Where am I just talking the talk and not really walking it? Like that's one of the things that's always been of importance to me, always of priority to me, to walk my talk. And yeah, there are times I was just really talk, but I'm able to get real with myself and say, okay, Gerda, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're talking about this. Now what's your next step, right? Like, what are you going to do about it now?
Yeah. How are you really stepping into what you're saying? Because yeah, you can talk all day long about these things, about these ideas. And like you said, Jules, I can think of many people who they know what they're supposed to do, but there is this belief, or it's come back to the whole idea of saving, being safe, feeling safe, and having a savior. It's like waiting for you to feel safe enough to take the move, or waiting for the crystal clear. Oh my God, that used to be me. I need crystal clear clarity. I need crystal clear guidance. And it's like,
no, it's mucky as fuck.
Yeah. It's literally driving in the fog. You know the road is ahead, but you can't see it because it's cloudy, but you must be committed and focused. Well, this is where I'm going. I'm going there until I get there and it says this is a dead end. And then I will recalculate, reverse, do what needs to be done. Yeah. But I'm not gonna say, ooh, I can't see, so I don't know if I should keep going. I don't know if it's safe. I will never know that from here.
You will never get safety from knowing what's behind the fucking fog. You never will. Like that shit needs to be implanted in you right now. You will never know. Even if you know what's behind the fog, it's never going to give you safety because you are outsourcing it and you are putting your fucking safety in something that is not you. You are creating it, right? People say, I need money. I want money. Like, and I'm like, well, you're craving safety and security. Well, how do I get that with money? You give it to yourself. Like, fucking give it to yourself. You know the feeling of safety. You know it. Give yourself that gift. Because knowing ain't shit. Yeah. Knowing gets you the same fucking thing. Knowing gets you repeating history, you know?
Yeah.
Looping.
And if you don't know it, get to know it. It doesn't come from spinning. It doesn't come from your head, right? Again, I see how, like, I really see what the discord was from 4 or 5 years ago of like studying these materials, listening to all these motivation, right? Like there was a big gap, there was a big discord where I still didn't feel like I could. I still kept feeling like I'm not able to yet. One day, hopefully, maybe. But today is not that day yet. And that was just a story. The day is when you decide. And I'm just gonna slide this in here and we can do another talk. We'll do a show on this about time and what people say in divine timing. Oh, well, I'm just waiting for divine timing. First of all, that's a bit of an oxymoron, right? Because the divine does not know time.
No.
Time is a human construct. So you got your snippet, your taster here.
I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it's fucking funny. Well, because I've sat there. I've done it before. I didn't do it.
We all have.
I know. Like, I'm just waiting for the right moment. When the stars are aligned, when we're not in Mercury retrograde, like, I must wait for God to fucking come upon me and tell me that what I'm doing is right, correct, and perfect. It's like, no, dude, you are God. Like, you fucking determine. You get the intuitive hit and divine. And the thing that came to me, which is also another rabbit hole, but faith. Like, you have to have faith in that. And it's basically in yourself and that trust in yourself that you have the capacity, right, to create what you see and within you. And it's not determined by any blueprint. There's not going to be any to-do step. I remember, quick story, when I fucking spent $10,000 and put myself in the room with like the biggest personal development people like in the industry to learn a step-by-step fucking process to make money. And
how much money did you make, Jules?
I made $300.
Yeah. Following the step-by-step.
Following the step-by-step. And the funniest part of it was that my previous mentor, who was very guided by faith and knowing, I literally came out of that. It was like this secret thing that this person was creating. Literally came out, and that my old mentor had literally done the same exact thing that I just paid $10,000 for.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it was so. I was mind blown. I was like, I mean, I see it now. I get it now. It's like, there is no way other than following your intuition and having faith in yourself, because you're always going to be shown the right, perfect thing for you. Because there is no blueprint for everybody.
Yeah. Well, you are your own unique blueprint, right? Like, it's so, I'm always going to come back to this and really speak to the nuance of the things that we say, because people are like, wow, I learned this step by step and blah, blah, blah. We're not saying that can't serve you.
Right.
What we're saying is your intuition may lead you to go invest 10K in learning a step by step. It may. But when you are doing that because you don't think you have it, someone else has it, and they are going to give it to you somehow, you're going to be imbued with whatever it is that, what you must realize, their step by step was created from their own creative genius. It was created from their own blueprint. Sure, there are people out there who are encoded to receive that process to help them. Again, you will be led there intuitively, and it will feel like ease. But if you're making the choice, the investment from like, okay, well, I've been struggling and I need this. If you're in that space of I need need it, you need to pay attention to that, because you know it's really not coming from that place of your own internal guidance. When you're in that energy, when you are led to that thing, yes, the fear and all that stuff will always come up, especially when 10K is such a huge investment. But things will just align. And I can speak to a personal experience also. I mean, I've invested 10K a couple of times in mentorship. And I will tell you, the first time I did it, even though it was scary as fuck, I knew, right? I knew that this was for me. I just knew it. And I was just like, well, I don't know where the 10K is going to come from, but I know I'm supposed to be here, so let's work it out. And honestly, to this day, I can't even tell you how I paid for it, because I certainly didn't have it. I'm like, somehow, yeah. I'm like, I don't even know. So that's what we're saying. It's not that someone else's XYZ won't support you, but were you really intuitively led to that? Or were you doing it out of neediness and desperation and believing that you don't have it in you? So you must get it from someone else. You will never get it from someone else, because they cannot give it to you, because they don't have it. The it that you need, you have it.
Yeah, it's like this coming back to power, right? Like for me, it was always this, that's the thing. That's the thing that's going to do it. That's the thing that's going to make it work. Like it's that. And like, oh my God, I can feel that energy around it right now. And it just feels like, bleh, like vomit, because it's so not who you are. And like, it's so not you claiming, I hate claiming your power. It's so not you like living your power.
Owning it. Yeah. Owning and living it.
Yeah. Being in that state of, I am the only one who's going to guide me, and I can trust that, even though I can't see it, even though I can't feel it right now, even though I have no evidence of what's going to unfold. Like it's like, and even if you take a step back and like, I don't know, think about one of those instances where you did something that somebody else told you to, but you look back and it was the wrong thing, but you look back and you're like, I had the idea to do it that other way that whole time. And like, you remember that and you're like, I should have followed my intuition, right? It's like, those moments are things that you get to look at and be like, that's the way, like that is the right thing. And you usually feel resistance when somebody else tells you something to do, or you see something else that like looks shiny and pretty, and you're like, that must be it. But like, you are always get that hit first. Like it is your job to listen and trust, no matter what, whether it's foggy as fuck or rainy as fuck or you can't see shit.
Yeah. Whew. How do you know, right? So like, so we hear each other, right? And different things land. And our intention is that, if you've been listening, following, is that this always shifts something for you, because there are a lot of, that's what we call them hacks, because there are a lot of nuances to all the things that you hear. And I love how, you know, the last bit you shared, what came up is, how will you know? So you may always have that moment, right, when you hesitate and you don't take the trust and you're like, oh, I know you've had it. Oh, I should have listened to myself. I should have known, right. Or I knew that was going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you know? Should I invest in this thing or not? Or listen to my intuition? Or is this choice, maybe another way of putting this, is this choice really coming from my higher self, higher guidance? Or is it coming from that part of me that's afraid and don't believe in myself, don't think that I can do this? Well, what's your energy? One of them will empower you. You feel empowered. The other one will feel disempowered. And you get to, well, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel empowered? Or do you want to feel disempowered? So if you're making the investment, it feels like you're not empowered, or like the mentor is saying, you can't do this without me. We can always do things without other people. However, when we have a lot of stuff, you require support, you require guidance. So there's nothing wrong with that. But just notice how, for lack of a better word, how you're being spoken to. Are you being spoken to in a way where you're like inept, like you don't know shit, like you need me to get you straightened out? Because I've had people do that to me, and I'm like other healers, oh, I see what you got going and I can heal you. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
No.
You're like, bitch, I don't
Should
need
work
healing.
together. No. And I know, like I think back of like those two specific investment that I made with 10K, like my energy was very different in each. One felt like I'm led, I'm certain, I'm sure, I'm empowered. It's scary. I don't know where this money is coming from, but like I'm all in. And then the other one was like, this is my last hope, my last resort, hopefully. Did I learn from both experiences? Yeah, it cost me 10K to learn that I needed to listen to myself and trust myself and stop outsourcing my power. And so even when the experience has happened and it feels like, oh, I was disempowered, you can always flip it to power. So I couldn't sit there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that I didn't sit there for months, maybe a year or two. And like, what the fuck? I get my and then it was just like, okay. Nobody forced me to make that decision. I made that choice and decision based on the level of consciousness that I was in at the time. Now I'm a different level of consciousness. So how did that experience serve me? Okay, cool. I'm gonna take that and flip that into power. It served me because now I know that I know what I know and I can trust myself.
Yeah, and that's always your choice, right? Like to flip it to power, like to understand that every circumstance that you feel is like a fucking wall or that you fucked up or whatever, like there is always a flip to that, because it always is working for you no matter what decision you made. You either see that it worked out and you celebrate that, or you see that it didn't work out the way you wanted it to and you shift your perspective around it and make a choice to, oh, this was that thing that I didn't follow my intuition, so next time I'm going to be extra fucking aware. Like it's that, like we all have it. Like don't fucking pretend like you don't have it. Like there is a gut pull always a gut pull.
Yeah. All right. We went in today.
I know. I'm like, how long have we been on here? That flew. Whoo. Total channel.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, this is a big topic because there's so many people who talk about this.
And okay, I know you probably have a hack, but I'm going to present our announcement because we have so many things that we talk about, create, share, and so we are creating a membership called the Evolved Women Collective. So we are having a launch party on February 22nd, 222, and we will have that link up for the event soon. So we're going to have a launch party. So put that on your calendar so you can learn all about it and get fucking jazzed and be with us even more, deeper level, one-on-one stuff, like group stuff, like all these opportunities to dive into these topics at a deeper level and more specific to you, because it's a platform for a collective
Yes.
badassery.
Yes. And you will know, right? So we're not gonna be doing, oh, you need this and that. No. We want the people that come into this to be certain. This is not level 1. This is not even level 2. It might not even be level 3. It is called the evolved woman for a reason. What we stand for is that you stand in your sovereignty, that you retire the stories of I'm broken, I need fixing, I need more healing, it's my trauma, it's my nervous system. It's not that we do not recognize these things. What we're saying is it is time to flip into power around these things. And we are creating this space for you to come in to do that. So if you've made decisions, you've made choices, and you're hearing what we're saying, and all those choices and decisions have always been in a place of disempowerment, feeling like you need to be saved by this mentor, you need to be saved by this healer, and you recognize, maybe there's another way. Like if you still want to play that game, like this is not for you.
Right? If you're going for the next, if you hear the new healing modality that came out, I don't know what it is because I don't keep up with them. But if you just heard
we might create one, who knows?
Right. But if you heard that new healing modality and you're like, that's the thing, I need that to heal me, I need that, like this is not your space. And also to piggyback on Gerda, certainty does not mean fear. Like if it still scares the shit out of you to fully be stepping into your power, like in all areas of your life, that you still go with the knowing, right? The certainty behind it, because that is where our calling to guide people to live is, like in that knowing powerfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powerfully. We're going to powerfully land the plane here.
Yes.
So as we make choices, decision, the last final hack, there were plenty during the show, and the final one that is huge is to be aware of your energy around the choices that you make. It's not that when you make higher choices, fear will go away. It will feel good, but you will feel empowered or disempowered. One would be like, oh my God, this is scary as fuck, but I'm doing it. And the other one would be like, oh, I don't know, should I do it? It's what I need. It's the thing. Bless you. I saw it coming.
And I was like, don't go away. Don't go away. I want to sneeze. Sorry. No, sorry.
Hilarious. All right. So that is, yeah.
All right.
For today, y'all.
Yeah. So stay tuned for the link so you can join us for our launch party, and it's going to be fucking epic.
Yeah. Or message us.
Oh, yeah.
If you want in, message us.
Yes. All right. Bye. Happy weekend.